All right, welcome back. Today, we're diving into a really fundamental shift in how we build software. I mean, we're moving past just, writing rigid code and into this whole new development loop that's powered by AI. It's a massive change. Think of it less like writing a set of instructions and more like having a real conversation. So yeah, let's get into it. So it all kicks off with this idea, vibe coding. And yeah, I know, it sounds a little out there, right? Like you're trying to feel the product's soul or something. But really, what it gets at is that building software is becoming way more intuitive, more collaborative. It's all about having this back and forth dialogue in plain English with an AI. So to really get where we're headed, we've got to look at where we've been. Let's just do a quick recap of the old school way of doing things. And for what feels like forever, this was the only way, right? Design, then code, then test. It was this super rigid one-way street. Each step was totally separate, walled off in its own silo, sometimes with totally different teams. And man, was it slow. Getting from just an idea to something you could actually click on took ages. But here's the thought that just completely flips the script. What if? What if that whole slow, methodical process wasn't the only way? What if prototyping wasn't this big final step before you test, but instead it was just this ongoing fluid conversation you're having with your tools? And that question, well, it leads us right here to a totally new way of working. And we're not talking about a little adjustment to the old model. Nope. This is a complete teardown and rebuild of the whole thing. So you can see them right next to each other. We're ditching that old, clunky, one-way street of design, code, test. And what we're moving to is this new, super dynamic cycle. Prompt, prototype, pivot. It's fast, you do it over and over, and the whole thing is built on talking, on conversation. So, okay, how does this new loop actually work? It's really simple. First, you just prompt. You give the AI an idea just using plain English. And bam, almost instantly, you get a working prototype, something you can actually use. And then you pivot. You just talk to the AI again, say, hey, change this or try that, and you see the results right away. You just rinse and repeat this cycle, and it's ridiculously fast. So what makes all this possible? Well, it's this whole new wave of tools. You can think of them as creating a kind of prototyping playground. A place where you can just build and break and test ideas basically in real time.
Yeah, we're seeing this new category emerge, these fluid creativity engines. You've got tools like Windsurf, Trae, and Builder.io Fusion. And these aren't just your standard code editors. No, they are platforms built from the ground up for this kind of conversational workflow. They're designed to take what you say and turn it directly into an interface you can use.
And this just shows you exactly what it feels like. It's not about getting the syntax perfect or remembering some complex command. You literally just talk to it. You say, make it darker or add a playful hover animation, and poof, it's done. It's so immediate, it's so iterative, it really feels like you have this superhumanly fast teammate working right alongside you.
And all of this points to this massive shift in what it even means to be a developer. Our relationship with our tools, it's completely different now. You're not really a coder anymore, just typing instructions into a box. You're a co-author, working with an intelligent partner to shape an idea.
So it only makes sense, right? If the process is changing this much, then the job itself has to change with it.
And that brings us to this new role, the conversational engineer. Now, this isn't necessarily the person who's memorized every single framework. This is someone who's a great communicator, who can articulate exactly what they want. They have that feel for when a product flow is just off. And they're skilled at guiding the AI, making all those tiny little pivots to finally land on the perfect solution.
But, and this is a really big but, speed can't be the only thing that matters. Sure, AI can get you something super fast, but is that something secure? Can it scale? Is it actually usable? That's where the reality check engineer becomes absolutely essential. This is the person in the room asking the tough questions, like, okay, cool, but what happens when 10,000 people use this at once? Or are we sure this isn't leaking user data? They're the ones who make sure the vibe is actually built on a solid, viable foundation. And this new speed,
This new collaborative power, it doesn't just change the process, it changes the goal. The target itself is moving. We're actually raising the bar for what we expect to achieve right from the start. For so long, we all talked about the MVP, the minimum viable product. The goal was just to get something, anything, that worked out the door. But now, because we can prototype so quickly and cheaply, we can aim way higher. We can go for the map, the minimum amazing product. You don't have to sit around guessing if an idea is going to be cool. You can just build it, feel it, and do that vibe check in a matter of minutes. Now, I know what some people might be thinking. All this rapid building and changing sounds kind of wasteful. But that's not the right way to look at it. This isn't throwaway development. It's throw forward development. Every single prototype, even the ones you end up ditching, they're not failures. They're learning moments. They're how you feel your way toward what the product is supposed to be before you go all in.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture here, because this is really more than just a new workflow, right? What this is all building towards is a deep, deep shift in the work itself. We're moving away from the purely mechanical process of writing instructions to something much more abstract and, frankly, more human. You don't just develop software anymore. You shape intention. Your job is to guide, to orchestrate, and to have a conversation with these incredibly powerful systems. And that leaves us with one last kind of provocative question to chew on. If the future of building things is full conversation, not just full stack, then shouldn't we change how we teach it? Do we keep starting with syntax and logic, or should we be teaching the next generation of creators the art of storytelling, the art of communicating an idea so clearly that an AI can help you build it? It's a pretty wild thought to end on. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.